Uh, Weiser Spargel blanched vegetable syndrome in the kaleidoscope of readings of Weber. So I argue this is really a blanched, straightforward, and undeceptive um, observation, but from the point of view of the total um, uh, bon pensée, or sort of um, orthodox thinking, if you like, in the academy on the issue. Perhaps it doesn't enjoy the pride of place, but I think it's the standard view simply shows the meaning of Hannah Arendt's saying in her letter to Jaspers, where she says she doesn't know which is the more harder thing, to give even the inkling of an understanding of what politics is to the German, or of what philosophy is to the American. The sense in which the interpretation of the matter then stands in the publicly represented space of a political statement is something that you'd never find in a liberal or capitalist democracy, because you have an entertainment demand on what is publicly represented. What we want to show is that what Weber says when he says that we're dealing with a distinction between the concept on the one side and the idea on the other side, that what we have is a position that can't be understood readily, so all we could do is try to record the way we would want to represent it to others in the future, which is to say, what he's saying is, what he observes is that literally the so-called disenchanted world, according to the way people talk, the way that people understand themselves, is the way people are talking and the way that people understand themselves. So Weber's view is identical to what's highlighted and better expressed in Wittgenstein as the Sprachspiel, as a description of the way we are using the current language. So it's not so that Weber says this is the case. He says, if you look, this is how people are talking, and then this is what I'm calling it. I'm calling it the disenchanted world when people have these views, when they talk this way, rather than when they talk in terms of the notion that physics, chemistry, biology are not particularly important and don't promise radical revolutionary changes in the ordinary tenor of life. When you don't have that view, then you feel like you could live a totally full life, because there's nothing to be expected. There's no great a difference to be expected in the future. But if you do have that view, then it always seems that there's a arbitrariness to the position one is in the history of things, and also that perhaps better things are to be expected in the future for people that aren't yourself. But on the whole, it marks a pretty clearly divided ways of thinking, which then show in the way people talk. And then that's what Weber describes when he describes the disenchanted world.